The COVID-19 pandemic, an unprecedented global event, forced millions of Canadians to reevaluate their work lives. Businesses across the country shuttered their doors, and the familiar rhythm of daily commutes ground to a halt. Almost overnight, Canadians had to swap their office desks for kitchen tables, spare bedrooms, or any available space they could find. The transition was sudden and, for many, jarring. This abrupt shift launched a nationwide remote work experiment, one that would redefine the Canadian workforce and challenge traditional notions of where and how work gets done. It was a trial by fire, but also an opportunity to discover new possibilities. What started as a temporary safety measure, a necessary response to an urgent health crisis, quickly became a lasting shift, a fundamental change in the way many Canadians approach their jobs and careers. Surprisingly, productivity remained steady, or even improved in some cases. Employees found they could focus better without the distractions of the office, and companies began to see the benefits of a remote workforce. Initial skepticism about remote work faded as managers and executives witnessed firsthand the capabilities and dedication of their remote teams. Companies saw real results, not just in terms of productivity, but also in employee satisfaction and reduced overhead costs. The data spoke for itself. As the months passed, Canadians began to question the need for daily commutes, the hours spent stuck in traffic or crammed onto public transit. They started to reevaluate the necessity of rigid office routines and the traditional 9-to-5 workday. Was it truly the most efficient way to work? The new reality offered flexibility, autonomy, a chance to structure their days in a way that suited their individual needs and preferences. And perhaps most importantly, a better work-life balance, more time for family, hobbies, and personal pursuits. As remote work became a preference, a desired perk rather than a forced necessity, companies faced pushback against mandatory office returns. Employees who had tasted the freedom and flexibility of remote work were reluctant to give it up. This resistance led to widespread adoption of hybrid models, a compromise that allowed employees to work from home some days and come into the office on others. Tools like Zoom and Microsoft Teams became essential for communication and collaboration, bridging the gap between remote workers and those in the office. This highlighted the importance of digital access and literacy, ensuring that all Canadians had the resources and skills necessary to participate in the remote work revolution. The pandemic accelerated a digital transformation that was already underway, pushing companies to adopt new technologies and embrace more flexible ways of working. Ultimately, this made remote work a permanent fixture for many, a viable and attractive option for both employers and employees. By 2025, the conversation shifted from if remote work would continue, a question that had largely been answered, to how it would be managed effectively and equitably, ensuring that all employees had the support and resources they needed to succeed. Major corporations announced permanent remote or hybrid policies, solidifying the shift and signaling a long-term commitment to flexible work arrangements. This signaled a new era for knowledge workers, empowering them with more control over their work lives and opening up new opportunities for career advancement. The traditional 5-day office commute became a relic of the past for many, a symbol of a bygone era. This fundamentally changed how and where Canadians work, creating a more distributed and decentralized workforce. This shift set off a wave of transformations, impacting everything from urban planning to community development. These transformations are rippling across cities, towns, and communities, reshaping the social and economic fabric of Canada. The impact of remote work is only beginning to be understood, and its long-term consequences are still unfolding. But one thing is clear: remote work is here to stay, and it will continue to reshape the Canadian landscape for years to come. Freed from the daily grind of commuting and the need to live in close proximity to the office, many Canadians began to reevaluate their living situations. The rise of remote work untethered them from the constraints of urban centers. Thousands of Canadians began making the pivotal decision to leave the hustle and bustle of big cities behind. They sought greener pastures and a more relaxed way of life. They set their sights on smaller towns and the tranquil suburbs that offered a welcome escape from the frenetic pace of urban living. The Great Migration, as it came to be known, saw people eagerly trading cramped and often overpriced urban living spaces for the promise of more space, both indoors and out, and a significantly slower, more manageable pace of life. Statistics Canada meticulously tracked this demographic shift, reporting a significant surge in migration patterns, with a clear trend emerging. People were moving away from the major metropolitan hubs of Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, and gravitating towards the charm and appeal of smaller communities across the country. Young professionals seeking a better work-life balance, families yearning for more room to grow, and digital nomads embracing location independence collectively led the charge in this mass exodus from the big cities. They were actively seeking more affordable homes, a key driver in their decision to relocate. Ultimately, they were all in pursuit of a higher overall quality of life, a chance to breathe easier and enjoy a more fulfilling existence. The appeal of small apartments, once a necessary compromise for city living, rapidly faded as people increasingly craved dedicated home offices, essential for the new era of remote work. And, of course, ample outdoor space became a highly desirable amenity. With city amenities either closed or significantly restricted due to public health measures, local communities, with their inherent sense of belonging, became the new and vital focus for many. Towns like Halifax, Moncton, and Kelowna, previously perhaps overlooked, experienced unprecedented and rapid growth, transforming their skylines and local economies. They offered the allure of tight-knit communities, where neighbors knew each other and supported local businesses. And crucially, they provided easy access to the restorative power of nature. These significant demographic shifts brought both exciting opportunities and complex challenges to these smaller locales. The influx of new residents was fundamentally transforming the identities of these once sleepy small towns. The influx of new residents, eager to embrace their new surroundings, set the stage for rapid and lasting change, reshaping the Canadian landscape in profound ways. As workers left urban centers, downtown cores faced an economic crisis. Office towers emptied, and the daily flow of commuters vanished, devastating local businesses. Coffee shops, lunch spots, and retailers lost their customer base almost overnight. Office vacancy rates soared, and for-lease signs became common. Public transit ridership plummeted, causing revenue shortfalls and service cuts. The decline in business activity strained municipal budgets and threatened essential services. The traditional central business district model was no longer sustainable. City leaders realized downtowns needed a complete reimagining. The focus shifted to creating mixed-use, resilient communities instead of 9-to-5 business hubs. The challenge transformed empty office towers into vibrant neighborhoods. The future of Canada's downtowns depended on bold, creative solutions. Remote work changed what Canadians want from their homes. Commute times no longer dictated where people lived, freeing buyers to prioritize space, privacy, and lifestyle. Homes became offices, classrooms, gyms, and sanctuaries. Demand surged for single-family homes with extra rooms and outdoor space. Downtown condos lost their appeal as buyers looked to suburbs and exurbs for more value. The trade-off shifted from commute time to lifestyle features like parks and quiet neighborhoods. More time at home meant deeper investment in local communities and family life. The frantic urban pace gave way to flexibility and balance. The home became the center of a more localized, self-contained life. Canadians began to value community and well-being over proximity to the office. The migration to small towns drove housing prices to new heights. Urbanites with big city salaries outbid locals, creating a new affordability crisis in once cheap communities. Towns like Bracebridge and Collingwood saw property values skyrocket, pricing out longtime residents. The influx brought demand for upscale amenities, changing the character of these towns. Gentrification and rapid development strained local businesses and social fabric. Municipalities struggled to keep up with infrastructure and service demands. The qualities that made small towns attractive, affordability, charm, community, were threatened. The remote work boom proved to be a double-edged sword for small-town Canada. With downtowns hollowing out, cities needed a new vision. Planners focused on converting empty offices into housing, tackling both vacancy and housing shortages. Public transit shifted from commuter-focused to flexible cross-town networks. Cities reclaimed space from cars, expanding pedestrian zones and bike lanes. The 15-minute city model gained traction, aiming for all daily needs within a short walk or bike ride. Investments in arts, culture, and public spaces redefined downtowns as destinations, not obligations. The goal: create vibrant, resilient neighborhoods that attract people for more than just work. Urban identity shifted from job concentration to quality of life. The survival of Canadian cities depended on bold, creative reinvention. Remote work sparked a renewed appreciation for parks and green spaces. Local parks became essential for recreation, mental health, and social connection. Cities fast-tracked new parks and upgraded existing ones, adding gardens, fitness equipment, and accessible trails. The focus on local amenities grew, with vibrant main streets and community hubs becoming central to daily life. The 15-minute city model encouraged residents to support local businesses and services. Parks and public squares became social epicenters, hosting markets and events. Neighbors connected more, building stronger, more resilient communities. The pandemic paradoxically deepened local ties and appreciation for shared spaces. Public green spaces became vital to both individual well-being and collective identity. By 2030, we anticipate a significant transformation in the urban landscape of Canada. Canadian cities will be increasingly defined by hybrid, flexible environments that cater to a dynamic population. These spaces will seamlessly blend residential, commercial, and recreational areas. Downtowns will evolve into vibrant collaboration hubs, moving beyond the traditional 9-to-5 office setting. These hubs will feature offices specifically designed to foster teamwork and innovation, rather than focusing on daily individual attendance. The emphasis will be on creating spaces that encourage interaction and shared experiences. The traditional 5-day commute will become a rare occurrence for many. It will be largely replaced by flexible schedules and the growing prevalence of remote work options. This shift will empower individuals to better manage their work-life balance. High-speed internet access will be as essential a utility as water or electricity, forming the backbone of this new flexible reality. Its reach will extend beyond urban centers, encompassing suburbs and even rural areas, ensuring connectivity for all. Bridging the digital divide and ensuring equitable access to technology will become a top policy priority for governments at all levels. Downtowns will feature repurposed office buildings, breathing new life into existing structures. They will also boast vibrant cultural scenes attracting residents and visitors alike. Suburbs and exurbs will undergo their own transformation, evolving into self-sufficient towns. These communities will offer co-working spaces, diverse amenities, and a strong sense of local identity. The single-family home, complete with dedicated office space and a spacious yard, will remain a highly sought-after housing option. Cities will transition into decentralized networks, comprised of multiple thriving centers, each with its own unique character. This model will offer residents more choice in terms of lifestyle and location, while also enhancing the overall resilience of the urban environment. The rigid, inflexible city of the past will gradually give way to a more adaptable, human-scaled model. This evolution will be profoundly shaped by the ongoing remote work revolution, which is redefining how and where we live and work. Remote work will reshape Canada's economic map, creating new winners and losers. Smaller cities and towns with strong infrastructure and quality of life will thrive, attracting talent and investment. Regions like Halifax, Kelowna, and Charlottetown will see growth and prosperity. The arrival of skilled remote workers will boost local economies and create jobs. Provinces that invest in connectivity and market their lifestyle will reverse out-migration trends. Downtowns in major cities will struggle, needing costly reinvention as residential and cultural hubs. Rural areas without reliable internet will be left behind, deepening regional inequality. Longtime residents in booming small towns may be priced out and see their communities change. The benefits of remote work won't be universal, and new divides will emerge. As Canadians move, the true costs and opportunities of remote work will continue to unfold.